Let's talk about the biggest con in your kitchen. For decades, you've been told breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that cereal is the healthy way to start it. But the science behind that came straight out of a corporate marketing department. Stay till the end, because what I'm about to show you explains how corporate food marketing rewired an entire generation's metabolism and made healthy food the new junk food. Chapter 1: The Breakfast That Broke America. Each one wrapped in a health halo, heart-healthy, lightly sweetened, supports immunity. The FTC fined Kellogg's for false and misleading advertising on those very claims. And the FDA warned General Mills over Cheerios' cholesterol promises. And the low-fat claim? True, but at a cost. They took out the fat your body needs and replaced it with the sugar it doesn't. In 2008, Kellogg's claimed Frosted Mini Wheats improved kids' attention by 20%. Turns out one kid in the study improved by 18%. Most didn't improve at all. The FTC called it false advertising. Kellogg's paid up, then did it again, claiming Cocoa Krispies boosted immune health. It didn't. It boosted lawsuits, though, while loading each serving with refined starch, sugar, and so-called vegetable oil. Spoiler: vegetable oil isn't made from vegetables. It's made from industrial seeds, stripped, bleached, deodorized, and oxidized by the time it hits the shelf. And sugar? The very thing that raises your LDL, triglycerides, and inflammation, the root causes of heart disease, sits at the top of most heart-healthy ingredient lists. There's nothing heart-healthy about that. Meanwhile, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts promised real fruit. What you got was sugar, corn syrup, vegetable oil, and red number 40, a petroleum dye banned or labeled in Europe for causing hyperactivity and inflammation. The strawberry filling? It contains more salt than strawberry. That red color comes from a chemical lab, not a farm. And here's where it gets darkly poetic. Red number 3, a related dye, was already banned in the US. Red number 40 remains on the shelves. However, it is under FDA review. Europe warned consumers years ago. We're just catching up. When you strip the fiber, add sugar, and drench it in synthetic dyes, you don't get breakfast. You get an addictive metabolic stress bomb that fuels hyperactivity, anxiety, and inflammation. And no one ever really checked if these foods were safe before flooding the market. Certainly not the FDA, which rubber-stamped these additives decades before we knew they mess with dopamine, gut permeability, and cellular energy production. Red number 40 isn't just a color, it's a neurological trick, lighting up your brain's reward circuits the same way addictive drugs do. That's not food science, that's behavior design. The truth is, healthy processed breakfast foods were never designed for your health. They were designed for quarterly profits. Big Food's rise has paralleled the explosion of chronic disease, obesity, diabetes, and inflammatory disorders. And Big Pharma isn't far behind, feeding off the illnesses Big Food helped create. So when your cereal claims to lower cholesterol, just remember, it's the same system that helped raise it. It wasn't brought to market by farmers like they had for eons. It was engineered in a lab by food conglomerates and mass-marketed on television as modern nutrition. No one ever stopped to ask if these foods were safe, certainly not the FDA. In 1911, Procter & Gamble had a problem: mountains of leftover cottonseed waste from textile mills. So they hydrogenated it, bleached it, deodorized it, and called it Crisco. Crisco wasn't engineered for health, it was engineered for profit to solve a textile industry problem. When cotton mills were left with mountains of unused seed waste, someone saw dollar signs and turned industrial runoff into a household staple. And thus, vegetable oil was born. They sold it with one simple line, made from 100% vegetable oil. It sounded clean, modern, scientific. But vegetables don't make oil. Seeds do. The same industrial oils that line your arteries also line factory machines. They weren't designed for nourishment. They were designed for profit, shelf life, and control. Part 2, the industrial deception. Omega-6 polyunsaturated fats, PUFAs, from seed oils are prone to oxidation, generating inflammation throughout the body. Omega-3 PUFAs, found in fish and algae, can counteract that effect by competing with omega-6s and restoring the body's anti-inflammatory balance. Part 3, the omega imbalance. Every cell in your body runs on a delicate ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. According to ancestral diet evidence, humans evolved on a near 1-to-1 balance. Today, the modern diet averages 10-to-1, sometimes 20-to-1, sadly tilted entirely toward omega-6. No wonder we're so inflamed. Our biology has been hijacked, all thanks to processed foods. That imbalance disrupts your mitochondria, the trillions of energy engines inside every cell. When omega-6 overwhelms the membrane of the mitochondria, they misfire, energy production collapses, and reactive oxygen species, molecular grenades, tear through your DNA. Dysfunctional mitochondria pile up as your body struggles to keep pace with the damage. It's a slow cellular burnout, energy failure masquerading as normal aging. Part 4. The cellular fallout. When omega-6 fats flood your diet, they don't just sit harmlessly in your bloodstream. They infiltrate every cell membrane, making them brittle and inflamed. Recent scientific findings from Advances in Nutrition show that excessive omega-6 intake drives oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction. When those fragile membranes are attacked by free radicals, mitochondria lose their ability to produce clean energy. Your body's control center, once a symphony of energy and repair, starts to behave more like an abandoned command room, lights flickering, systems failing, no one left at the controls. Your cells are still trying to unlock energy, but the keyhole's rusted. Oxidized fats jam the system, shutting down your mitochondria's ability to burn clean fuel. When mitochondria falter, energy drops and oxidative stress erupts like molecular grenades, shredding DNA, silencing repair, and accelerating cellular decay. This is the invisible spark behind chronic fatigue, brain fog, and premature aging. Dysfunctional mitochondria pile up faster than the body can clear them. And as reactive oxygen species rise, the cleanup crew fails, setting off a chain reaction of damage that spreads through your tissues like rust on metal. Keep watching, because the real science behind seed oils and omega balance might be the single most important thing you ever learn about your health. That's the cost of imbalance. Too much omega-6, not enough omega-3, and it's happening in nearly every modern body. Next, we'll break down the omega ratio and why fixing it could reverse years of hidden inflammation. Part 5. The economic ecosystem of illness. Big Food's rising profits mirror Big Pharma's, both climbing off the same foundation of chronic illness. The more ultra-processed food we eat, the sicker we become. And every new diagnosis, diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune flare, feeds two industries at once. It's a closed conveyor belt of profit disguised as progress. Big Food built a multi-trillion-dollar empire selling products that cost pennies to make. Big Pharma's profits surged right alongside, fueled by the fallout. Different industries, same customer pipeline. Ultra-processed snacks and sodas deliver the damage: inflammation, obesity, and metabolic collapse. Pharmaceuticals deliver the Band-Aids, lifelong prescriptions that manage symptoms but rarely heal the cause. The CDC spends about $1.4 billion a year fighting chronic disease. Meanwhile, food conglomerates spend more than 10 times that advertising junk food, especially to children. And prevention funding keeps shrinking even as lifestyle diseases accelerate. The result? An economy that rewards sickness more than health. Big Food profits from addiction. Big Pharma profits from the aftermath. Part 6. Cellular damage? Don't worry, we can fix this. In the 1940s, the atomic age promised progress, but what it really gave us was fallout, not just in the skies, but in our cells. We traded real food for chemistry and called the damage normal aging. Fatigue, brain fog, inflammation, all dismissed as destiny. When biology began to break down, the answer was always the same. Don't worry, we have some fine pharmaceuticals to fix you right up. But that sent us in the wrong direction. We treated symptoms, not systems. Patched over the imbalance instead of restoring it. The body was never broken, just overwhelmed. It doesn't need another pill. It needs balance. Real nutrients, real rest, real repair. Give it those things, and it remembers how to heal. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming function. Just getting back to normal. Do Not Age's Omega Balance Stack combines purified marine DHA and EPA with astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant that protects omega-3s and supports mitochondrial health. When you shift your omega-6 to omega-3 ratio from 20 to 1 down to 4 to 1, inflammation drops, energy rises, and metabolism stops fighting itself. You'll start to feel subtle changes in a week or two: steadier energy, less stiffness, clearer focus. But give it 8 to 12 weeks and deeper repair begins. Mitochondria recover, inflammation quiets, and the slow drift toward chronic disease starts to fade. That's why I use compounds proven to restore cellular balance. Urolithin A to trigger mitophagy and clear out damaged cells, NMN with TMG to boost NAD and keep it stable, and CoQ10 to power mitochondrial energy and cellular repair. They're not quick fixes. They're the raw materials your cells use. To rebuild strength and restore what modern life has worn down, you'll find my full longevity stack in the description. The exact brands I trust, backed by clinical research. Because aging isn't random, it's an imbalance, and balance is something you can reclaim. Use the link to Do Not Age for 10% off your first order and start restoring your balance today. Because the future of longevity isn't just coming, it's accelerating, and you're either aging or evolving.